welcome back to my channel. If you guys haven't guessed it already, we're going to be doing a festival look. I wanted to do something very colorful, festive, but also very fresh and light. People that usually go to these festivals are usually there for hours and hours and hours. So I didn't want to go too heavy on the lashes. I didn't want to go too heavy on the eyeshadow, and I wanted to go very light and very healthy looking on the skin, very fresh. So let's see how far we go and let's see what happens. I'm gonna play around with some colors today. In my last Get Ready With Me, I had used this palette, but I had only used the yellow shade in it. So today we're gonna be using some blues and some oranges and maybe some pinks, depending on how bright the orange comes out. So in order to make those colors stand out, we're gonna first start with a white eyeliner. So first we're gonna take the jumbo eye pencil in Milk. The first thing we're gonna do is slather this on. So from the crease up to the eyebrow, I want to cover it with this. You don't have to completely cover it with the pencil. We will blend it out with a brush. If you guys haven't noticed already, I have done my eyebrows a little bit more on the straighter side, a little bit more pulled out than I usually do, because I want the eyeshadow to follow along with it. Okay, we got the white down. We're gonna take a synthetic brush and we are gonna blend it out. So using a synthetic brush, we are going to blend that out. So we're gonna focus. I don't want to worry too much about the lid. We're gonna blow it out from the crease up to the eyebrow. Actually, let me zoom you guys in so you guys can see it a little bit better. Alright, now that you guys are up close and personal, you guys can see it a little bit better. But I blew out this one, so this one looks nice and blended. I'm just working on this one. I always notice that the colors are always more vibrant on the white, and dark colors obviously on black. Looking good. Now we're gonna set it. So I am gonna use the Morphe palette, the 35C palette. It's a very colorful palette, but none of the colors I really need. So it looks like this. I'm gonna take this white shade down here and we're gonna set it. I'm using another, like a fluffier synthetic brush. This one actually came with the Naked 3 palette. It's gonna set that whole area. That looks flawless. Hope it makes those colors pop. So we're gonna start really slow when working with color, especially when working with crazy blues. We're gonna start nice and slow. I am gonna take a bigger fluffy brush. I'm gonna dip into the blue, this blue right here in the NYX palette. I wanna get that brush nice and saturated in that color. And then I'm just gonna start building. Remember, we wanna blow it out nice and straight. It looks a little crazy right now, but we're gonna work on it. I literally look like, is it the 80s or the, I think it's the 80s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 80s, where they used all the crazy blue eyeshadow. Yeah. Now, we're gonna take a more precise brush. I'm going to go in with this very small detailing brush. It is a Real Techniques brush, and it's an accent brush. I am literally going to dip very gently into this darker blue right here, and I'm going to start cutting that crease. I am going to use this just to deepen and add dimension to that blue. I am not going to use this to actually cut the crease. What I'm going to actually cut the crease with is some Paint Pot. So it's going to be a nude cut crease on the bottom. So this is just to add some dimension. And then going in with a small blending brush. This is the Morphe M507. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that product just to, just to blend it out. I don't know if you can tell, but it just added a little bit more dimension to that blue. I'm going to go back in with the big fluffy brush and blend out the edges. Okay, now that we have some dimension, we're going to go in where our Paint Pot and a synthetic brush. I'm just going to use the one we were working with earlier. I'm using MAC Paint Pot and Painterly and that synthetic brush, and we're going to use that to carve out the crease. Looking good. I'm liking it a lot. And then using that synthetic brush from the Urban Decay brush that I'm using, and any kind of setting powder, a face powder, anything, just not the whiter powder because we don't want it to be white, we want it to be neutral. We're gonna set that painterly. Alright, now we're gonna work on the inner corner orange, and then we can move on to the face. So using this orange in the palette, we're gonna use that in our inner corner. So using a small blending brush, I'm going to use the M507. I'm going to start slowly building color in that inner corner. Okay, so that orange is more of a pinky highlighter-ish weird neon orange. So I'm going to go in with a colorful palette. It's the Morphe 35C palette. I'm going to use this orange right here to kind of settle that neonness to it and give it more of the orange tones that I'm looking for. I'm liking it. So that's basically it that I'm gonna put for the eyes. I'm gonna go in with NYX Faux Whites in Vanilla eyeliner, and I'm gonna line my waterline. I lined it pretty thickly. Now, before I add mascara and lashes, I'm gonna finish up the face. So we are gonna go in with one of the foundations that I have that I feel are more on the sheer side. We're gonna use the True Match Lumi Cushion in the shade W3. I am going to apply this with a brush and then buff it in, I think, with the beauty blender. So I'm just gonna dip it in, stipple this all over my face, get all those problem areas, and let me zoom you guys out. Alright, so I applied it with a brush, and then I'm gonna go in with a face oil. I am using Sonia Kashuk's Radiant Boost, and I'm gonna do a few little, a little droplets. Oh my god! Little droplets to blend it out. I want very glowy skin. I love how dewy it looks. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but it looks very, very dewy right now. I know I'm gonna neutralize some of that dewiness because right now it literally looks up like straight up oily. But I'm gonna neutralize some of it with powder. So don't be scared yet. Now that we're looking super dewy, ooey gooey, I'm gonna go in with my cream bronzer before we set everything. I am using the Soleil Tan De Chanel, and I'm using a Real Techniques brush. This is the Expert Face brush. I want a very warm, bronzy glow to it. I mean, you can't go to a festival with that without looking like some kind of like goddess, like bronzed goddess. I'm just applying it, and then we're gonna blend it in. I know I look crazy right now, but we are gonna blend it in with our little beauty blender. Since we already have that oil down, it's gonna be a lot easier to blend in. We're gonna do some concealer. I'm gonna try to be careful with the application of the makeup that I have already put under the eyes. And then using the little edge of the beauty blender, we're gonna blend it out. I'm loving this oil. It's making everything blend out like a dream. And then we're gonna set our under eyes. I'm using the Wet n Wild contouring palette in Dulce de Leche. I'm gonna use this light shade with a dry beauty blender. I'm gonna just pack it under the eyes. Again, being cautious of the application I already have under there. And then I'm gonna bake that under eye. This is the time when it's good to set your face, like the T-zone area, especially if you are going to a festival and you're gonna be out all day sweating and stuff like that. it is good at this point to set the areas where you are most likely to sweat the most. So I'm going to put it in the T-zone area. And then with that powder, I'm going to brush it right off. I don't want to keep it on there too long. So I'm going to use a big fluffy brush. This is the Sigma F30. I'm going to brush it off. And I'm going to use that excess powder to set the rest of the face. Now that your face is set. So I'm going to use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium Deep Matte Bronzer. And I'm going to use a Morphe M527. This is a little sample that I got, but this is the same product. And I'm going to frame the face with this bronzer. Oh my god, it smells so good. Like I said, I want to be a bronzed goddess. So I'm going a little bit on the heavier side with this powder. You don't have to though. You could always opt for a BB cream if that's something you want. Make sure you wear SPF if you're going to be out in the sun all day. You most certainly don't have to do all this. I feel like when I put on makeup, I have to do a beat face. It's all or nothing for me. It's either I'm going to wear a full face or I'm not going to wear a full face. But this is a full face that is very versatile. So you could always adjust it. And then I'm going in with a big fluffy brush and just blending things out. Okay. I am going in with the Morphe E4 and I'm going to use MAC's Warm Soul Blush. And I am going to keep that in the bronzed cheek area. So right around here, I'm going to hold the brush this way so that the angled portion is down. And I'm just literally going to just add a hint of color to that bronzer and bring it in. And then one of my favorite steps, we're going to add some highlighter. This is a gold highlighting pigment from MAC. The name has been peeled off. It's an older one. It's an iridescent loose powder. Doesn't even have the name on it. It's an older one. If you guys know the name of it, please let me know. It's very pretty. I love to use this when I'm going for more bronzy looks. I'm going to take a fan brush to apply this at first. Barely touch the top of that, and I'm gonna highlight my face using it with a very light hand because this is very pigmented. Like I said, it is a very bronzed pigmented shade, so just be aware when you're using it that it does have subtle color. I'm going to use that dry beauty blender and a little bit of that powder white shade from the contour palette by Wet n Wild, and I'm just gonna clean up. I feel that I got a little bit on the carried away side. And then my favorite one, I have so many favorite parts. I think just everything is my favorite part. But this is where the magic happens. This is now where all these powders are going to set into the skin a little bit differently. They're going to look more realistic, more natural. So I am going to go in with Urban Decay's Chill Makeup Setting Spray. I'm going to set my face, and it's going to take away the powdery look to it. So this is where I always call the magic happens, and I always tell my clients, I'm like, hold on, you look crazy right now, but wait until I set your face. So we are gonna go into Makeup Revolution London, the Vivid Baked Highlight in Golden Lights. I am going to use the setting brush by Real Techniques, and I am just gonna hit the top of that to make it really stand out so much better. Now we have a very golden glow. Now we're gonna add faux freckles, but I decided to make it a little bit different. We're gonna add faux white freckles, and then I am just gonna go in with my beauty blender with the little product that I have on the end of it, and I'm just gonna pat right over those. And then for one of the final touches, we are going to do a line down our lip using that same white liner. I have to let it dry so I look a little weird. I'm gonna let that dry and then we'll finish it up. But right now I am going to put on some false lashes and put on some mascara, and I'll be back. Okay, you guys, so I put on a pair of wispy lashes. I used the Ardell Wispy Multi-Pack. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a multi-pack or not, but I used the Ardell Wispies, and I put some mascara on my top and bottom lashes just to add a little bit of vavoom. I am literally obsessed with how it looks. It's very subtle. It's very pretty. I love it. Anyways, but for the final touches on our lips, you're probably wondering, like, Jenny, you just put a line down your lips on your dry, chapped lips. Like, what are you going to do? But I am going to use the Buxom lip gloss in Dolly. Is this a lip gloss? Full on lip cream. That's what I'm going to use. And I am literally just putting very little bit just to give a gloss to the look. Okay, you guys, that is it. This is the fun festive look. This is a fun festive look. Very simplistic, but very daring and kind of out there. I thought it was very fresh and very fun and a very good way to use colors. But I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I don't think I have anything else to say to you guys other than like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate all your support lately. You guys have been doing such an awesome job, so keep it up, you guys. And if you guys want to keep up with me and my shenanigans, I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. All the links will be down below. Until my next video, guys. Bye!